Long before our first cities rose, before humans carved their stories into stone, or wrote their first words on clay tablets, something extraordinary was said to have happened on Earth. The skies opened, and beings descended, beings so powerful, so radiant, that ancient people could only call them gods. They came not as myths, but as rulers, teachers, and architects of civilization itself. Across the windswept plains of Mesopotamia, they were known as the Anunnaki, those who came down from the heavens. Thousands of miles away, in the lush lands of ancient India, they were called the Devas, the Shining Ones, two of the world's oldest cultures, separated by geography, language, and time. And yet their stories describe the same phenomenon, powerful celestial beings descending from the sky to shape the destiny of humankind. Could this be coincidence? Or could the Anunnaki and the Vedic gods be one and the same, remembered differently by two ancient civilizations who witnessed the same truth? The Sumerians, the first known civilization in history, believed that their world was governed by beings who were not born of Earth. According to the Enuma Elish and other ancient tablets, the Anunnaki descended from a distant realm called Nibiru. They taught humans how to farm, how to build, how to write. They gave kings their authority, laws their power, and cities their order. They were described as taller, stronger, and far more intelligent than humans, radiant beings capable of flight, wielding tools and weapons beyond comprehension. Now, travel eastward to the Indian subcontinent and read the hymns of the Rig Veda, the world's oldest scripture. There, too, we find stories of shining celestial beings, the Devas, who descend from the heavens to guide humanity. They control nature's forces. Indra commands the thunder and lightning. Ugni brings fire from the sky. Varuna upholds cosmic law and watches over the oceans. They, too, are described as radiant, powerful, and not entirely human. The similarities are uncanny. The Sumerians speak of Enlil, a storm god who ruled the skies with thunder. The Vedas speak of Indra, the thunder-wielding king of the heavens. The Sumerians revered Enki, god of water and wisdom. The Vedic texts worship Varuna, master of the cosmic order and the seas. And both traditions speak of wars among these divine beings, conflicts that shook the earth and changed the fate of humankind. But perhaps the most striking similarity is in how these gods treated humanity itself. The Sumerian texts claim that the Anunnaki created humans, mixing their own essence with that of a primitive species already on Earth. In the Atrahasis epic, humanity was fashioned to serve them, to work the land and mine resources. We were created, they said, to fulfill their purpose. In India, too, the creation stories hint at divine intervention. The Purusha Sukta describes humanity as emerging from the sacrifice of a cosmic being, each part of its body giving rise to a part of society. Other texts speak of gods shaping human destiny and guiding evolution. Were these poetic metaphors or garbled memories of ancient genetic manipulation? Did both cultures remember the same origin, one where humans were designed, not merely born? The parallels don't stop there. The Anunnaki are described as descending from the heavens in fiery boats or flying chambers. The Vedic texts speak of vimanas, aerial chariots capable of traversing great distances and fighting battles in the sky. The Mahabharata describes them in astonishing mechanical detail, multi-tiered crafts equipped with weapons of immense power, soaring through the clouds with roars like thunder. Were these gods really riding mythic chariots? Or was humanity witnessing technology it could not yet understand? And what of the wars of the gods? Battles fought not on heaven's fields, but right here on Earth. The Sumerians tell of conflicts among the Anunnaki, brothers and sisters fighting over dominion, unleashing catastrophic forces that devastated entire regions. The Indian epics tell the same tale. Wars between Devas and Asuras, battles fought with weapons like the Brahmastra, said to unleash the power of the universe, or the Vajra, Indra's thunderbolt that could shatter mountains. Are these just stories? Or ancient accounts of technologies capable of nuclear-scale destruction? Even the symbolism overlaps. The Sumerian winged disc, representing divine authority, is nearly identical to the chakra, the cosmic wheel wielded by Vishnu. Both traditions speak of the tree of life, the 7 heavenly realms, and the 7 sages who guide humanity. Even the sacred number 7 repeats. 7 planets, 7 divine laws, 7 steps to immortality. So how is it possible that 2 ancient civilizations, separated by thousands of kilometers and speaking unrelated languages, describe the same gods, the same technology, the same wars, and the same cosmic order? Some scholars argue that it's all coincidence. Others suggest cultural diffusion, that one story influenced the other through trade or migration. But there's another, more radical possibility. These myths are memories, fragments of a shared prehistoric truth that both cultures inherited. Maybe, just maybe, the Anunnaki and the Devas weren't mythical at all. Maybe they were visitors, explorers from beyond the stars, or survivors of a lost civilization, far older and more advanced than we can imagine. A civilization that rose before history began, seeded humanity with knowledge, and then vanished into legend. And if that sounds impossible, consider this. Both Sumerian and Vedic texts describe timelines stretching back tens of thousands of years, far beyond what modern archaeology accepts. Both claim their gods watched over humanity for ages, guiding the rise and fall of empires. And both left behind knowledge, astronomy, mathematics, sacred geometry, that still baffles scientists today. What if the Anunnaki, who descended from Nibiru, and the Devas, who came from Svarga, are the same beings, known by different names, worshipped by different people, but remembered for the same deeds? What if the myths of our ancestors are not mere stories, but encrypted history, a record of a time when gods and humans walked side by side? Perhaps they never left. Perhaps they still watch, still guide, still shape humanity's course, from the shadows of forgotten temples and the stars above. And perhaps, buried beneath the sands of Mesopotamia and the riverbeds of India, lies the proof, a shared legacy that connects every story of gods descending from the heavens. And maybe one day, when we're ready, we'll realize the truth, that the gods we worship were not figments of imagination, but echoes of a forgotten age when the Anunnaki and the Vedic Devas were one and the same.